mentioning earlier, there's been traffic on multiple side nets, and that announcement that you just heard is Chief Launch Conductor Doug Lebo now bringing the team out from the individual subsystem nets, bringing everybody to the command channel, channel 1, for the final minutes of the countdown here. So we're gonna start to hear more traffic on the command channel as we start to do our final configuration steps for launch. So we're going to hear a couple of things. We're going to hear...
minus 18 minutes.
Flight control, perform launch on time verification.
Roger.
We're going to hear some final avionics checks like that last call. We're going to hear hold fire switch verification. The range hold fire system allows representatives from Space Launch Delta 45 a hold button in the up the road at the Morrell Operations Center. So if there's an issue or range safety issue that comes up, they can press a button and automatically stop our sequencer. So that's called a hold fire check. Those hold fire switches will be configured shortly, and we'll also start to hear calls about wrapping up our helium bottle charging on both the first and second stage.
And Dylan, as you mentioned, with the traffic on the loops increasing a little bit, you at home may notice that we are speaking less, and so we are going to be listening to some of these things
on time verified.
As they happen live with
Roger.
you. And we feel it's important for you to be able to...
Go ahead.
AHB charging reestablished and at flight mass.
Roger.
minus 17 minutes.
OSM, place SRB ignition SNA switch in the enable position.
SRB ignition enabled.
Verify FCO, RCO, and OSM hold fire switches are in the proceed position.
Ready to proceed.
All right, we're going to send it over to NASA's Daryl Nail at Hangar AE. Daryl.
All right, thank you very much. And getting a final look at the weather, I could tell you this, it's a beautiful day to fly. Outside, our launch weather officer told us that there's no change in the forecast. We are 90% go, and what a beautiful shot of our beaches here from the courtesy of our chopper team here at the Kennedy Space Center. Folks coming out to enjoy the launch and an amazing day. Weather, no changes again.
I saw that, Jade. I heard the phone ring, but I was setting it up. So I was going to just go to check. But it looks like so far to go. Will 3 times be the charm? Who knows? But so far, 16 minutes left. We'll see what happens. What's up, Bobby? What's up, Jay? What's up, anyone else that may be watching?
Launch visibility is always a factor here in the Southeast. Can you see the rocket and from where? And our friends at United Launch Alliance provided us with this graphic so you can see about which point in the launch you would see the rocket. If you're within the first 2 inner circles, you should be able to see the solid rocket boosters jettison a minute after launch. Folks in the Orlando and Central Florida area will be able to see it about 90 seconds of flight, and then it'll come into view for much of the rest of the state after more than about 2 minutes, including Tampa on the west coast of Florida. The southeast corner of Georgia might be able to see the Atlas Centaur separation, which happens after 3 minutes of flight. Again, we're looking good here at the ASOC. Richard Jones polled his team, the NASA operations manager,
15 minutes.
and all of them are go.
LC flight, channel 1 and air to ground 1 are now merged, going to air to ground 1.
Roger.
We'll send it back to the host desk.
LC flight, air to ground 1, ready for contact with Starliner on channel 1.
Roger. Starliner, LC, com check on channel 1.
Those are com checks again between different teams.
Loud and clear.
I have you loud and clear also.
And our astronauts, who you see there. Again, this is the test flight.
Houston, com check, air to ground 1.
Houston, Starliner, loud and clear.
Houston has you loud and clear on air to ground 1.
Test flight, and Boeing is working towards certification. To do that, there are a total of 87 flight test objectives and many more operational capability checkouts. So take a look at some of the main objectives with the crew on board. I'll go through a couple of them here. So they will demonstrate the performance of crew-related equipment. The crew will perform hatch operations and transfer emergency equipment. They will also evaluate the vehicle and transfer cargo while in a docked configuration. They'll conform functionality of manual piloting and deorbit with a successful separation of the crew module from the service module. And finally, they will demonstrate Starliner's entry and descent. 13 minutes and 24 seconds from only the 6th time NASA astronauts will launch on a new spacecraft designed for crew. And if you're curious about the previous 5 flights, we have you covered. Check out our video here. Mercury Redstone 3 was the first test flight. Alan Shepard, May 5th, 1961.
Gemini 3 with astronauts Gus Grissom and John Young launched March 23rd, 1965.
Apollo 7, October 11th, 1968, with Wally Schirra, Don Isley, and Walt Cunningham.
STS-1 launched with astronauts John Young and Robert Crippen, and it launched April 12th, 1981.
Starliner Houston, your suit fan Bravo is repowered. It looks good. Please close your visors. Column closed.
You saw video there of Demo 2, May 2020, Doug Hurley, Bob Benkin.
And then, of course, today's NASA's and Boeing's crew flight test with Butch Wilmore, and Sonny Williams.
You know, Mike, 12 minutes and 15 seconds to go. How are you feeling?
I am excited. I'm grateful to ULA and Boeing and NASA team that we are sharing this historic moment together. Go Starliner.
Yeah, our hearts and well wishes are with Butch and Sonny as they make history testing what is poised to be the second commercial crew vehicle that is certified to ferry people to and from the International Space Station. So with 11 minutes and 46 seconds to go, let's send it back over to ULA's Dylan Rice and Boeing's Lauren Brennicke to walk us through the final moments of today's launch countdown. Let's do it, guys.
Let's do it, Megan. We just heard the Starliner readiness poll is a go. We know the crew's visors are down now, so we are moving along smoothly into the final 11 minutes and 30 seconds of this countdown. This is an instantaneous launch window today, which means that we will launch when the orbital path for the ISS aligns with the Space Coast. Once we get into orbit, Starliner will be working to catch up with the space station, eventually reaching speeds of more than 17,500 miles per hour. It'll take about 25 hours or so to get there. And we are going to be watching here any minute.
Minus 11 minutes.
For the crew access
arm. Control, though the crew access arm for launch.
Roger.
Right on cue. Crew access arm about to start moving away from the spacecraft. And Dylan, we will watch it move very slowly today, but it could move much faster if needed.
That's right, Lauren. It takes about 2 minutes to rotate the 120 degrees back away from Starliner to its stowed position and latched position on the crew access tower. Here we go. But we could, in the event of an emergency, redeploy it in less than 15 seconds.
It's amazing that it can do that. We hope to not have to ever see that happen. After liftoff today, Brandy and Jim will continue commentary from Houston through ascent, spacecraft separation, and the orbital insertion burn. We will have the shot of Butch and Sonny inside Starliner until the moment of launch, and then we will get it again when we get to the ISS.
Minus 10 minutes.
Flight, verify CST 100 on internal power.
Verified.
Starliner, configure ordnance for launch.
Touch and work.
All right, the spacecraft is running completely on its own now. And they are configuring ordnance for launch. That means the devices that initiate our separation events are ready to support both nominal and contingency operations that,
Roger.
That happen or could happen during ascent.
So, Lauren, we're just about 2.5 minutes now away from our terminal count status check. The terminal count status check is the final report from each operator indicating that their system, whether it be a ground control system or a launch vehicle system, is ready to execute the final 4 minutes of the countdown to launching the rocket. At this point, if there were an issue, the anomaly team would be discussing it, but nothing like that has happened right now. All's quiet. I am expecting to hear all members of the team report go when pulled by Chief Launch Conductor Doug Lebo.
And we're actually hearing on a side channel that they are preparing for the launch vehicle systems poll. This is the long one. A lot of people view this as their favorite poll. It's kind of fun to listen to them list off each system, and then that team will give a final go or no go for launch. And we will be able to watch cameras on the rocket today, and live telemetry feeding back will provide a real-time look at the spacecraft model when video isn't possible during the ascent as it moves through the dynamic phases.
L minus 8 minutes.
Under 8 minutes before Butch and Sunny head back to a place they consider home. Both of them have spent 2 different stints of about 6 months on the International Space Station, and they are thrilled to be going back for a 3rd time. Sunny told me she even cried the last time she left the space station because she didn't know if she would ever go back. So this flight is a dream for her.
LC arm control.
Go ahead.
True axis arms stowed for launch.
Roger. LC switch to ready position. All steps are complete prior to status check.
Let's listen in to Chief Launch Conductor Doug Lebo conduct that final terminal count status check as we prepare for launch.
L minus 7 minutes.
Status check to proceed with terminal count. Atlas systems, propulsion,
Go.
hydraulics,
Go.
pneumatics,
Go.
LO2,
Go.
water,
Go.
Centaur systems, propulsion,
Go.
pneumatics,
Go.
LO2,
Go.
LH2,
Go.
has gas,
Go.
electrical systems, airborne,
Go.
ground,
Go.
facility,
Go.
RFFTS,
Go.
flight control,
Go.
GC cube,
Go.
op support,
Go.
comm,
Go.
umbilicals,
Go.
arm control,
Go.
ECS,
Go.
redline monitor,
Go.
quality,
Go.
op safety manager,
Go.
ULA safety officer,
Go.
vehicle system engineer,
Go.
anomaly chief,
Go.
range coordinator,
Clear to proceed.
flight director,
Houston flight is go.
Starliner,
Starliner, go.
launch director,
You have permission to launch.
proceeding with the count. ALC, verify T0 is set for 14:52:15 Zulu.
Verified.
Starliner, net is clear.
Thank you, LC. For everybody listening, just a thought. Sonny and I, as we were traveling to the pad, we saw many American flags, and many of you were waving flags at us. And then as we reached the pad, we look up, and of course there's that American flag on the side of the white room, also one on the side of the rocket itself. And we know that that represents unity and resilience and unified efforts for the common good. And that's what Sonny and I have witnessed this last month. Each of you displaying what this nation's forefathers envisioned, a people committed to God, family, and country, a people who use their gifts and talents for the common good, and are passionate and tough. And we all know that when the going gets tough, and it often does, the tough get going. And you have. And Sonny and I are honored to share this dream of spaceflight with each and every one of you. So with that, LC, let's get going. Now let's put some fire in this rocket, and let's push it to the heavens where all these tough Americans have prepared it to be.
Let's go, Calypso. Take us to space and back.
LC flight, Starliner configured for terminal count. On my mark,
Roger.
The time will be T-minus 4 minutes and counting. 3, 2, 1, mark.
Clocks have
3:55.
resumed for
Ground
on-time
power is enabled.
liftoff.
Just beautiful words from Butch there. No better example of unity on this planet than what happens at the International Space Station, where Butch and Sunny are headed in just 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
3:30.
Atlas hydraulics at flight press.
Atlas boosters hydraulic steering systems now pressurized for launch.
Starliner's LAS prop valves are configured for launch. The propulsion valves that need to be open in the case of an abort from the pad.
3 minutes.
Pressurizing Atlas tanks.
Securing LO2 topping.
250. FTS internal.
Flight software is in ascent mode. It is now set for the uphill climb.
$159. Vehicle internal. 155. Launch sequencer start. 150.
Securing Centaur LH2.
Securing Centaur LO2.
Vehicle is now transferred to its onboard batteries, and topping is
140.
completed.
Launch enabled. 137. FTS armed. $120. OCU's armed. SCS count started. EDS ascent.
Starliner, last arm to auto.
Last arm auto.
Roger.
That call meaning if the emergency detection system on Atlas
minute.
detects something,
Rock report range status.
Range green. 54. POP started.
it will trigger the launch abort system on Starliner and fire automatically. If that happened, the spacecraft would push itself away from the rocket a mile up and a mile
40.
out.
Atlas at flight press.
Centaur at flight press. 25.
Status check. Go Atlas. Go Centaur. Go Starliner. Godspeed, Butch and Sonny.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff of Starliner and Atlas V, carrying 2 American heroes, drawing a line to the stars for all of us.
Commander Butch Wilmore there.
Yes, baby, yes!
Calling down to Mission Control here in Houston that the spacecraft has begun rolling into the right attitude for its ascent, and the Guidance, Navigation, and Control Officer here in the room seeing good data on that.
Starliner passing through max Q, or the point of maximum dynamic pressure where the forces of air friction are highest, which in Sunny will shortly be passing through Mach 1, where the speed of sound.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
You got a good throttle up.
Starliner and Atlas. Looking good with speeds and attitude increasing as expected. Coming up in less than 20 seconds, the solid rocket boosters will run out of fuel and burn out.
Good SRB burnout.
Good SRB.
Now that the fuel in the solid rocket boosters has been depleted, the Atlas main booster stage will be continuing its burn for about the next 3 minutes.
Wow. What a view.
Good handle.
Good handle.
What a view.
That call, good handle from Capcom Joshua Kutrick, indicating that the crew now has the ability
Now
to
that's
initiate
an
an abort
impressive
manually
view.
if needed. All looking good so far. Now 2 minutes into Starliner's flight and coming up on the solid rocket booster jettison at the 2 minute and 40-second mark.
Which just happened. Something jettisoned. I hope she said 240. Something flew off. There's a lot of ice buildup.
CLG and yet good trajectory.
Wow, look at that.
CLG.
The solid rocket boosters have now been jettisoned after seeing Starliner through its first 90 seconds of flight. Team on the ground here confirming that it was a good jettison and that the vehicle's trajectory continues to look good. Now 3 minutes into today's flight.
The big one is coming, hopefully next year, Rabbit, with Artemis 2, when the astronauts orbit the moon and come back. That's the next really big one, but it's all about the Starship. Starship has to succeed in its testing. So that actually is the most important thing coming up next.
Atlas booster now throttling back to limit the G-forces on Butch and Sunny, trying to limit that to around 3.5 times the force of gravity you would feel while on the ground.
The testing of Starship. Look how awesome that looks. I'm actually enjoying this more than the SpaceX feed because it looks like it's actually flying. You know what I mean? It looks like you could see it just like gliding through space, and you're seeing the landmass and the ocean behind it. It looks super cool like this. Uh-oh, just as I jinxed it. Nah. What the hell is that? I guess this is the internal engines.
Staging.
So you're in the ground.
Decals open. You have sublimator rack.
Decal sub-act. Decal. Great act.
Team on the ground reporting that they saw the ascent cover on top of Starliner that's been protecting the spacecraft's
There
docking
goes.
system through its climb into orbit. They saw that jettison as planned.
Yep, it just went right past the
Staging
screen.
was good. You have good control.
Wow.
And now the
Look at the
second
rotation.
stage's 2 Centaur engines have ignited to continue pushing Starliner into space, fueled by liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. The next milestone that we'll be watching for is the aeroskirt jettison.
Two Centaur engines. That's what we're looking at on the Starliner. Wow, look at that. Yeah, I guess
Starliner, you had good booster performance. You're up to plus 31.
they didn't want to show that.
Plus 31.
They put the animation up.
Atlas Control reporting booster performance offset of 31 seconds of ISP, or specific impulse, relative to its design baseline of around 450.
Oh, the camera was on that main rocket booster. So we lost it. The astronauts must be so happy. 3 times the charm. I mean, that's not easy. 2 failed attempts. You know, to prepare for that, suit up, get in the capsule, and then scrub.
All continuing to perform well, almost 7 minutes into today's flight.
So they're probably real ecstatic to finally launch. So that's awesome. For them especially.
Good center.
Good centaur.
Capcom Joshua Kutrick continuing to pass good news up to Starliner's crew. That last one reporting that the Centaur upper stage remains in good condition and is performing well, pushing them into orbit.
St. John's open.
St. John's.
Starliner is now entering its first guided abort range, where Starliner would direct itself towards a specific location in the event of abort. In this case, just off the coast of St. John's, the capital of the Canadian province of Newfoundland, Labrador.
Well, so far so good. Thank God.
Starliner MECO converged 11:5 to 11:52. Good perf. You're at 34 to 36 seconds.
11:52. 34 seconds.
It seems so much professional without all that cheering
Back all letting
and
the crew
yelling,
know that
too.
the main engine cutoff, MECO, should happen just about on time, about 12 minutes into today's flight. Another good indication that Starliner's ascent is taking along exactly as expected. Main engine cutoff is a major milestone marking Starliner's arrival on orbit. Still got about 2.5 minutes until we get to that, with the spacecraft continuing to perform well, make its way towards orbit.
No action, Starliner on the LCL. That's just the system coming up into controlling mode.
Outstanding. No action.
A lot more communication, too.
Once the main engine's cut off, the next step will be the launch vehicle separation. That's set to occur just short of 15 minutes after launch, when Starliner will separate from the rocket and fly free in space for the first time.
Except that launch, that was amazing. The camera views were way better than SpaceX. That was amazing.
Flight Dynamics officer reporting that at this point, Starliner could potentially make an abort landing off the coast of Ireland.
Get cooling.
See, they should
And
have
they're,
had cameras
again,
on this.
all continuing well, so we're not expecting to need that abort.
As Starliner is rapidly approaching orbital velocity, this abort region is only available for just over 1 minute, where Starliner would just continue up to orbit after that.
I mean, watching a 3D graphic, I mean, I guess it's necessary, but it would have been nice if they had cameras somewhere in the upper section looking back in real time. So SpaceX has them definitely beat with camera angles. And of course,
30 seconds to MECO.
And also the ability to
Just 30 seconds to go. now until main engine cutoff, marking Starliner's arrival on orbit.
Kevin, I saw that. This eliminates our dependency on sending our astronauts to Russia.
Nominal MECO Starliner.
Nominal MECO.
That's what pretty much.
And with that nominal MECO call, that's main engine cutoff. We've got good energy, meaning a good velocity for continuing to orbit, and a good plane, meaning Starliner's trajectory is aligned with the International Space Station for rendezvous tomorrow.
And with that, Butch Wilmore and Sunny Williams returned to orbit. Individually, they are both extremely experienced astronauts.
14:5 to 14:52.
14:52.
They're both very experienced astronauts with a combined total of 489 days in space between them. Starliner is also the third spacecraft that they've launched in. Both have traveled to the International Space Station via space shuttles and Soyuz and are now well on their way to repeating the journey via Starliner. It's also worth noting that Williams' role as pilot marks the first time that a woman has crewed a flight test of an orbital spacecraft.
Just a few seconds ago, you heard Capcom Joshua Kutrich calling up to Butch and Sunny. With the expected time, Starliner will separate from Centaur at about 14 minutes, 52 seconds into flight. Just under 2 minutes from now, or 1 minute from now.
Too bad it's all animated.
That is actually the last major milestone for Starliner's ascent. All the hard work is done, but we need for Starliner to be flying on its own before it can begin heading towards the International Space Station. There's a slight pause in the action here while Centaur repressurizes and does some attitude control.
What's up, Marco?
We'll get into the right orientation to send Centaur on its way and then jettison it and move into the right orientation for the orbital insertion burn, which will come about 31 minutes into flight.
No action on the cabin temp Starliner.
No action.
Kind of stinks without the cameras, though. Especially for separation now.
And about 10 seconds until an expected launch vehicle separation.
That's the great thing about SpaceX. See? Animated. Graphics. We don't see it. How do we know? Oh my.
LV-SEP confirmed.
Good LV-SEP.
And now that Starliner has separated from the Centaur upper stage, we have a big thank you to our partners at ULA, providing Butch and Sunny a smooth ride to space.
I mean, they should even.
That is not the end of today's orbit activity, though. The team will now be getting ready for the orbital insertion burn, which comes 31 minutes after flight. So that's still about 15 minutes away now. Sunny Williams and Butch Wilmore will be getting their tablets out and doing a few other activities to get Starliner ready for that. And that will be one of the that will be the first in a series of burns that will set Starliner on its way to the International Space Station.
But we won't see that. And that's a wrap. The main thing is it launched successfully and it's on the way to the ISS. That's pretty. Oh my God. When I get sent videos at this time for a show that airs I'm not too happy about that, to be honest. Can you see how dark I'm getting? Oh my God. Look at this already. Soon, all you're going to see is maybe the shine of the eyes and the teeth. Let me just get this done. So Ronald is on day 3 of his trip on his way home. This is the big one. Okay, he says he sent it now. Let me get, it's only one video because I did the other ones this morning for him. So it's not too bad. So he should be home tonight, God willing. I believe he was leaving Illinois and heading toward Minnesota. You may hear something here. Oh no, let's mute this. Okay, save video. Okay, that's done. And even with everyone here and all the food, Ronald, there was so much food, Ronald couldn't handle it. It was like that. But he probably gained weight. And everybody enjoyed it. Everybody, Jade was a great help as always. Now we're planning New Year's Eve party. Woody and Petita, Chantal and her husband, and possibly Jade. And now I'm going to start planning for a bigger party this year for that. So we'll see. Ronald definitely won't be coming back. In July, Ronald will be going to Gettysburg. He goes there now every year. Let me just add this video. I have a meeting in a half hour. Then I got to go see the vampire at 12:30. Blood work today. But Bobby says he's getting something to eat right now, which doesn't surprise me. What the hell? Okay, it works. Video done. Okay. Now, despite all the crazy food and... because there was a ton of food. This was this morning. Oh my God, that looks... Despite all the food, and I tried not to cheat as much as possible, because it's just really hard not to eat my food. That was this morning. So despite all that, I'm going down. So that's really good. And I'm telling you, it wasn't easy not to cheat with all this food. It was so much food. But now, after I go to get my blood work, I'm going right back on my diet. So I didn't mess up. Everything worked out. I didn't go back up. Everything's good. So, yes, I didn't gain no weight during this week of madness. What the heck is that? Oh, that's Bobby sending me the link to Ron's. I can't see Ron today. I'm going to be very busy all day. So, I would love to check out what he's doing and join the stream, but I can't. I'm just too busy today. I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm telling you, don't ask me. Ask anyone who was here about the food. They'll tell you themselves how great it was. But I'm done. Like Ronald. Ronald, what do you want for breakfast? You want waffles, pancakes, bagels, eggs? Jade made him eggs one morning. And Jade would, either I or Jade would make him breakfast because he would go right to the table. And, eat. What's for lunch? When is dinner ready? Oh my God, I felt like I should have put something over my arm like I'm a waiter. Well, I'm saying that in fun. But he's a great guy. Ronald's a great guy. And he sat in that chair like the whole time he was here practically. He went outside, yes, sometimes. But pretty much he stuck it. I will say this. I gave him a lecture. And he had only 1.5, it's a lot, 1.5 2-liter bottles of soda per day. That's excellent for Ronald because he cut down from 3 to 4 a day. Can you imagine drinking 3 to 4 bottles, 2 liters of Diet Coke every day? He's down to 1.5 now. He's still drinking 3 liters of soda every day, which is insane. But he's cut down. And then I encouraged him on the foods to eat because he's a big guy. Ronald is not a small person. He's a big guy. It is bad, Marco. It really is bad. But, I mean, at least he cut down to 1.5, which is 1.5 too much. He should find something else to drink, like water, flavored water, even flavored seltzer water. Anything but that. And I made vegetables, and I said, look how good this tastes. You could be doing this at home. The guy, I mean, he needs to diet. When the older you get, the harder it is. And the more health risks are involved with the weight. It's just not good. So I gave him a nice little lecture, just him and I, about the proper foods to eat. I said, look at me. That's another thing. You know how many responses I got from Pine Bush? Or when people see me again, that they haven't seen me in a year, like, Bill, what happened? You lost so much weight. That's when you know. When somebody hasn't seen you in like a year. And then it's like, wow. Even when I took the photo, I was like, holy shit, I look pretty good in that photo. Still got to lose more, but it's a lot better than I did look last year. So when you see the results, it just encourages you to do more. And it's not for anyone else. It's for yourself. You don't do things for others. You do them for you. I'm almost going to sound like Confucius. You got to do for yourself. Forget about all that other stuff. You are the most important person. Without taking care of yourself, you can't be there for anyone else. Right? I mean, that's the way I look at it. So that's my focus. But he's getting grub. I hope he's not eating McDonald's. I hope he's not eating Burger King. I know when you're traveling, it's difficult to find a place where it's healthy, because those places are not healthy. One Big Mac is like 550 calories. And any of that food is going to be bad for you. It really is. It's not good for you. So, I mean, if I'm on the road, what I do is I get a cup of coffee, because coffee suppresses the appetite. And maybe I'll get, worst case scenario, a bagel with cream cheese or a buttered roll, even though butter's no good. But something that will fill me and won't be over the top with calories and fat and saturated things and all that garbage. Yeah, fast food is horrible. Fast food is really bad. But so many people eat it. Especially those that work and then they come home, they don't have time to cook. They eat fast food or they eat takeout because they don't have the time. And it's really bad. So, like today, which is great, I emptied out my freezers a little bit. My freezer is, my actual freezer is half full. That's going to get filled up today. My refrigerator freezer is half full. That's going to get filled up today with all my diet stuff again. And what I mean by that is lots of chicken and some fish, but Mom doesn't eat fish. Mom doesn't eat anything. She doesn't eat meat anymore. Poultry, nothing. She's like vegetables, and she doesn't want to eat that anymore. Like Jade had purchased some steak sandwich stuff. That stuff was killer. That was great. I made that because there was leftover. I made them last night. And I offered it to her. She didn't want nothing to do with it. It's not steakum. It's the real sliced thin steak to make sandwiches. I ate it, but I didn't eat much all day because I knew that was going to be on a roll. So I was watching what I ate all day. So I'm doing great. And now that all this commotion is over, now I can focus back on my diet all summer. And my goal is by the first day of fall. You saw the number, 194.8. My goal, realistically, because I don't want to go nuts, is 180. If I go any further, that's probably not reachable. If I can get to 180, which I have a few months to do, by September 21st, I'll be really happy. And then by the first day of winter, if I can be to 170, I'll be ecstatic. So it's gradual. It takes time. It takes a lot of strong willpower, discipline. But I've now lost 41 pounds since August. It's a lot. It's a lot. So yes, today starting today, I get back in my routine. Now, I can't eat now anyway because I have blood work. I have to fast until 1 o'clock. When I come home, I'll make a nice salad. I'll get maybe some already prepared chicken, dice it up, throw it in the salad. I got to do all that. I got to go shopping to restock all the healthy foods, vegetables, all the stuff I eat, the salads. But I love it. And like Jade, I couldn't believe when I saw Jade. He looked like a different person. He lost so much weight. I was like, oh my God, he's thin. I was shocked on how Jade, my mother almost didn't recognize Jade. That's how much weight he lost. So, that's... Let me see what this person is saying. It's on Rumble.
Eels sliced thin steak
pause that
to make sandwiches.
Because I want to see. I can't really see it. Roman, what's going on? That wasn't an Elon Musk thing. That was a NASA thing. that wasn't Roman. That wasn't Musk. That was not a SpaceX thing. It's funny what he wrote in Rumble. It kind of did look like that. I won't repeat what you wrote, but I just saw your comment. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Jade. Jade was here for the week. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. But anyway, at least the Starliner successfully launched. They're on their way to the ISS, which is great. My lecture is over about foods. I mean, the evidence is clear. Just look at what I've done over the last, 5, 6, 7, 8 months. And it's gradual, but I've totaled 41 pounds, and it's healthy. I'm not doing anything to harm my body. I'm losing it slowly, but gradually and healthy. That's the way you're supposed to do it. So I'm very curious when I go see my doctor in a couple of weeks from the blood and urine results that I'm going to do today to see where I'm at now. Forget about the weight. I know what the weight is. Now I want to see what the blood work shows me, because I get the results before he sees them. Because the place that I go, Quest, sends them to me. So I'm able to see it as soon as it's available. My doctor's not going to see it until I'm there and then looks my blood work up. So I'll already know before he even looks at it where I'm at. Now, I was 1 digit away from the bad cholesterol off. I was 7 off of my triglycerides. It's just 7. It's supposed to be 150. I was 157. And then the A1C was, what was it? 6.9, which is still high. But I was 11 in August of last year, which is super bad, which is probably why I had to go to the hospital, to the ER. So those are the 3 that I'm looking at. Everything else was normal. Liver, kidneys, everything else was normal. Pancreas, white blood cell, red, all that, normal. It's those 3 now that I'm focused on. So we'll see. But I hope I'm not disappointed, because I've been very disciplined since I got my last blood work 3 months ago. So it should be good. If it's not, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be upset. I'm going to lose it. But again, it feels really good. You have to, everyone that's watching, just try to take better care of yourself. Seriously. Especially if you're getting older. Because it's harder. And that's when shit starts to catch up with you from life habits. Obesity is never a good thing. I am still considered obese because I'm only 5'7". I'm still considered obese till I hit 190. When I get to 189, then I'm considered overweight. So even with all this weight loss, I'm still considered obese. So I still have a ways to go. And that's just being honest. And I know it's tough for a lot of people, but you need to go to the doctor. You need to go to the doctor to get blood work, urine, because urine shows a lot, believe it or not. And I mean, if they're not looking, it's not like you're going in for a drug test. So you don't have to be concerned if they're going to see flour, marijuana in your system. That's not the objective of the test. Those are specific, looking for that. Those are specific tests that look for that. So you don't have to worry about that if you're someone in that situation. But you should go get blood work, because blood work and urine show a lot of stuff that's going on in your body that would otherwise be undetectable. early stages of cancer, liver, kidney, pancreas, internal organ problems. Of course, sugar, diabetes. I mean, so much is done with blood analysis that to me, that is so important. Something can get caught in early stages. And then they'll say, okay, well, this is too high. Now we're going to have to do further tests to see if this is the case. So it's important to see the doctor. Now, a doctor, you know how a doctor, when you walk into the office, because I bother my doctor. I ask my doctor a million questions. Because I'm prepared. I do my research. I go in there ready. Like I always do that every time. Okay, this is what I'm going to ask now. This is what I'm going to do. You know, when they go in, they do the blood pressure, they put the finger thing to see your oxygen level, all the usual shit, feeling deep breaths, all that bullshit. How much does that do? Really? Nothing. It really doesn't. Oh, your blood pressure's high. By a cuff or by a machine? Okay. What's up, 91? But it is so important to me because the early indications, the early signs can save your life. Just like they lowered the age to 45 for colon cancer tests. It used to be 50. It's important. Prostate, important. All that, important. Could save your life. I mean, really. So like when I was taking Ozempic, they did the blood work every month because they wanted to see if the Ozempic, because it has some serious side effects. And I was affected by it. It was affecting my pancreas. They said immediately stop. If I didn't do that blood work, I wouldn't have known. The doctor would, insisted we have to do blood work. Thank God. And some people may not be getting that blood work like they should be when they're taking this stuff, Ozempic. Now, I'm taking this Mounjaro now. It supposedly has less side effects, but it's a similar drug. So I've been on this now. How many did I take? Let me see. This is the second box. Oh shit! I got one dose left. So that means I've taken 7 injections of this stuff. 7. Now's a good time to check the blood to see if that is affecting me in any way. So that's why it's important, because if the blood shows any high levels affecting anything internally, they'll stop that too. So that's why blood work is important. So it's easier said than done. I know that, especially with smoking. But you have to do it if you want to live. It's amazing when I see, like myself now. It's kind of freaky. Because now it's getting to the point where I have to change my belts. I can't use my old belts. I have to now buy a new wardrobe of clothing. This is an extra large, and it's actually big on me now. Like that Iron Maiden sweatshirt. I couldn't fit that. I could not wear that. It didn't even zipper up. It didn't even close. It was supposed to be an extra large. But of course, it came from the UK, and those sizes run small. So it wasn't a true American extra large. It was a large. But in the UK, it might have been extra large, but not here. I guess they don't have the big obesity issues like the United States, where their extra large kind of makes sense over there. But not here it doesn't. Over here, that shit's a large. So, matter of fact, I have it here. Let's see. Oh, shit. I just got a new Alexa. This is for outside.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
This is for outside. I bought it, got it today. I already configured it. It's nice just to have it outside if I need to say something or ask the weather or something like that. So this will come in and out of the house as I need it outside when I'm out there. That's why I bought a little one. Because this is not going to be used like that. Oh. Matter of fact, we can unplug it. Because it's already been synced. So this is, let's see, I should have it here. It should be here. What the hell is this? Sweatpants. Damn, I washed so much clothing the last few days when everybody left. All right, here it is. So let's see. Well, that's the hanger. This cost me $120 for a custom Iron Maiden. Can you believe that? That's crazy, right? It is. I bought this shirt too. I bought a few shirts, and I bought that flag. And I see Iron Maiden in November, so. But this is a custom, this is a collector Iron Maiden. See? It never fit. I couldn't even get it closed. If I could find the damn thing to zipper it now. And I don't want to say the A word because Marco will have a fit. Look at this. And it actually fits perfectly. This was impossible a year ago. Impossible. And now it fits. Because I don't have that no more. I'm that big. I'm the size, the rolls, and the fat, and all that. It fits. Because, of course, it has to get around to zipper. So losing all that weight, I can now wear this hoodie. I couldn't do that a year ago. Couldn't do that. That's when you say, heck yes, awesome. And once you get that incentive, I gotta go to the meeting. Once you get that incentive, you don't look back. Because now I'm beyond, like past, I used to diet and then I would cheat and diet. But when you get to a certain point, and obviously it helps you with your self-esteem, your self-confidence. You know, it does. Because, you know, it affects how you look. When you look in the mirror, you're like, fuck, what the hell? It just does. The hardest part is getting through those first couple of months. It's not weeks. It's months. Some may say, oh, you just got to do it for a couple of weeks, you'll be fine. Bullshit. No. It takes a while for your body to adjust and to get acclimated to your new lifestyle change of eating habits and exercise and everything else. People make it sound so easy. I'm not going to lie. It's not easy. Because you have to change your diet habits that you've been so used to forever. And you may not like certain foods. And it's like, but people, that's another thing. People say, oh, I don't like that. How do you know if you never tried it or cooked it a certain way or prepared it so that you might like it? Jade was here. I don't know. Somebody said something that, you know something? I never liked that, but I love this when I made it. I forgot who said it. I don't know if it was Jade. It had to probably be Jade or maybe Woody or Petita. But I think it was Jade. I made something. He said, Bill, I never liked this, but the way you made it, I like it. So it's also about food prep and how you prepare foods. Garlic is great. If you like garlic, people are funny with vegetables, like if you flavor it and you do it right, it might not be so bad. You'd be surprised. Or if you air fry it, like a can of chickpeas, you may not like them. Try putting them in an air fryer. Try taking honey and brushing honey on those chickpeas and air frying them and eating them as a snack. You'd be surprised how good they are as a snack. And it's so healthy for you. And there's other ways, there's recipes. It doesn't have to be honey. It could be some other type of flavor, which is healthy for you. So there's a lot of alternatives. I'm a Maiden fanatic is right, Michael, for sure. I'm a nut with Iron Maiden. But anyway, I need to go because I have a meeting now. So I'll see you tonight. I'll be over at Ronald's for one of my rare visits because they're going to do a Rush thing tonight over there at 9 o'clock on radio tonight. So I will be there for the Rush thing. So anyway, to Marco, Roman, 91, Bobby, Michael, anyone who may be watching, Kevin, you all have a great rest of your day. And maybe I'll see you guys soon. Until then, be well, be blessed, be safe. And you all have a great rest of your afternoon, whatever time zone you're in. So I'm out of here. Love to all.